What is going on, YouTube? MLB 23 is finally out, and with the new launch, they brought back one of our favorite modes, Team Affinity. Now, as you can see here, everything is broken down into divisions. You have the AL East, AL Central, AL West, etc. And one of the first rewards that you get in each particular path are these captain cards. So, for example, you have Rutschman, Chris Sale, Judge, McClanahan, Manoah. Each team gets one card, and I'm going to break down which cards are the best in a tier list video today. Alrighty, I'm going to move myself up here so you can see everyone's stats, and our first card we're going to go over is Adley Rutschman. Now, the catcher position early in the game usually is not the best, but Adley does have a decent swing. He has good stats here against righties, not the greatest against lefties, and his clutch is okay, but he's a very good fielding catcher. You know, he has 98 fielding, 95 arm. No one's going to be able to run on him. However, I just don't think his stats are that great. I'm gonna put Adley B tier just because I don't think, even as a switch hitter, I just don't think his stats against lefties are good enough. And with the 71 clutch, his PCI is gonna be pretty small with guys in scoring position. If you're looking for a defensive catcher, he's gonna be really good. I just think there's better cards. Next up, we have Chris Sale. Now, he's either going to get rocked or he's going to be absolutely dominant for you. 84 hits per nine isn't the greatest. He does have a sinker. He has a slider, decent stamina, but he doesn't have any quirks. I wouldn't say that he's awful, but I wouldn't say that he's fantastic either. So as we go over back to our tier list, I'm going to put Chris Sale in the B tier as well. Like I said, I don't think he's great, but I don't think that he's like at the very bottom of, you know, cards that we have in this tier list. Now we're gonna hop over to Mr. AL MVP himself, Aaron Judge. Look at that power, 113, 116, good clutch, decent contact, but that clutch is very important because if you have guys on, that PCI is going to be bigger than what you're used to. And he has a lot of quirks. You know, he has situational hitter, breaking ball hitter, dead red, road warrior, first pitch hitter. He has a lot of good quirk. I think he is in the A tier because he's very tall and he doesn't have a swing that a lot of people care for, I would say. He has the good quirks, he has good stats, but his height and his swing isn't everybody's favorite. Next, we're gonna hop over to Shane McClanahan. Now, 93 hits per nine, 92 stamina. Doesn't really have any good quirks, and his pitch mix is kind of basic. I mean, he does throw 98, but he doesn't have outlier or anything like that. Gotta put McClanahan down in the C tier here. I just don't think he's that good of a card. Next up, we have the Blue Jays team captain, Alek Manoah. Now, 94 hits per nine, 103 stamina, 112 pitching clutch. That's definitely going to come in key for you guys. Doesn't have any quirks, but he tops out at 96. He has the sinker, has a slider. He's tall at 6'6", like I said. Funky motion. I'm going to put Manoah in the B tier because he's not fantastic, but he's not awful either. And as you guys will see, there are a lot better starting pitchers in this team captains program. Now we're going to hop into the AL Central, and we're going to start off with the White Sox team captain, Liam Hendriks. Now, looking at it, you know, 95 hits per nine, 102 Ks per nine. That pitching clutch isn't the greatest. Four-seam fastball, slider, knuckle curve is not the greatest pitch mix. And to be honest with you, Liam Hendriks has never really been like a good card in the game. It's kind of sucks because he's one of the better relievers, I would say, in the MLB, but some of these guys just don't translate over into the game. I'm gonna say Liam Hendriks is C tier. I just don't think he has the stats and the pitch mix or good motion or anything of that sort, so I'm gonna have to put him in the C tier. Next, we're gonna hop into Shane Bieber. Now, 105 stamina, hits per nine is a little low. The pitching clutch is higher, so, you know, someone gets on base, it will help out a little bit. He's got 5 pitches. He's got the four-seam fastball, has the slider, nice curveball, a cutter, and a circle change. Considering the starting pitchers that we have, Shane Bieber definitely is not a bad option because, like I said, he has those 5 pitches. He has decent break on his cutter, which has always been one of his better pitches in the game. I'm gonna have to put Shane Bieber in the B tier. I think that's a good spot for him. Like, these guys here, you know, Chris Sale, Manoah, and Bieber, they're all kind of like the same to each other. You know, they're not fantastic, they're not bad either. They're just kind of like your average starting pitcher, I would say. Now, an interesting one here for the Tigers is Miguel Cabrera, and he is a designated hitter, which is something new in MLB The Show is we have cards that their primary positions can be designated hitters. Miggy is always a fan favorite. Contact is fantastic. He has good enough power. 122 clutch though is going to make this card fantastic with guys in scoring position. You're going to be able to have a massive PCI. It's going to make it a lot easier to bring home runs in those crucial situations. And again, looking at these stats here again, I do think Miggy is one of the better team captains that we have in this program. I'm going to put him in the S tier. I'd like to keep the S tier, you know, only a couple pitchers, a couple hitters. I definitely think Miggy. Now, Zach Greinke has always been in the past a decent pitcher. The hits per 9 on this one is just really low. The pitching clutch will make up for that. Guys get in scoring position. He always has that really slow curveball. And on his good cards in the past, he's had a sinker, and he doesn't have that. I think we're going to have our first C tier pitcher in Zach Greinke. If he had a sinker, he could be borderline like low B in my opinion, but without that sinker, he just doesn't throw hard. I just don't think he's that great of a card this year. I'm going to have to put him in the C tier in this tier list here. Now we have Byron Buxton. Now this is an interesting card because he has the power. The contact is really low, and the clutch is extremely low at 40. So you do not want this guy up with anybody in base because that PCI is going to be tiny. And yeah, when I say tiny, I mean really tiny. 99 fielding though, 90 arm, 95 speed. Because if you're a good player, you'll be able to use this card and be good with it. But if you struggle with people that have small PCIs, then Buxton's not going to be your guy. The thing though with him, he does have some good quirk. But for me, I think what keeps this card out of the S tier is that clutch and the contact, especially against righties. 61 contact. I'm going to put him in the A tier with Judge because he does have some good stats. He has the good speed, good fielding, good arm strength. He has the power. But the thing is, it's just the contact and the clutch is what really kills this card. Alrighty, now we're on to the AL West. We have Jose Altuve here. Now this card, good damn hitter, good contact, really good power for a Jose Altuve card too. Nice clutch, fielding isn't the greatest and the weak arm strength, and he's got a ton of quirks. I mean, look at this. He has first pitch hitter, unfazed, dead red, breaking ball hitter, and bad ball hitter, which is a new quirk this year. The thing with Altuve is he's very short. I mean, I'm 5'7" myself. I know about a short king, and Altuve's 5'6", so he's shorter than me. A lot of people can't hit with small players. Again, I don't think he's S tier. It's a very, very good card. I'm going to put him in the A tier just because of everything that he has going with him. His fielding's not the greatest. 47 arm is very, very weak. Good hitter, but he's really short. So if you're good with hitting with short players, he is an S tier player. In my experience, just the way with Altuve cards play, I'm going to put him in the A tier. I think that's a fair spot to put him. Now, an interesting one here is Shohei Ohtani. Now, Ohtani has more cards in the game at launch this year than I swear he had all of last year. But this team captain Ohtani has 82 stamina, 84 hits per 9, 106 pitching clutch. That's a really good stat right there. 5 pitch mix, slider, fastball, splitter, cutter, curveball. This one does not have outlier. Okay, I did not know that. I thought he had outlier, so this one does not. But mind you, he has the secondary positions and he has a 5 pitch mix, and these are his hitting stats. The power's okay. The contact is low. The clutch isn't the greatest. I mean, if I'm being honest, this isn't the greatest Ohtani card. I might get some hate for this. I'm going to put Ohtani in the B tier. I'll put him in the B tier just because he has that two-way playability and gives you some different options, but not having outlier. His hitting stats aren't the greatest. His hits per 9s are kind of low stamina. I just don't think it's that good of a Shohei card. Now we're going to move over to Seth Brown, the poor Oakland A's team captain, because I think they probably have 2 guys on the team that are maybe worthy of a team captain. Sorry, A's fans, but it's going to be a rough year for y'all. I apologize, but does have good stats against righties. You know, 79, 103. Contact's low against lefties, but decent power. 64 clutch, okay fielding. He does play the outfield, and he has okay speed. I'm going to put it in the C tier, man. There's nothing that this card really excels at. Now, an interesting one here is the Mariners team captain, Paul Sewald. Now, he has a 4-seam slider, 2-seam pitch mix. I mean, that hits per 9. 117, and then that massive drop off to 89 pitching clutch. He only throws 94. The 2-seamer is only 1 mile per hour slower, and he has a slider. Only topping out at 94, no outlier, no quirks. In my opinion, this card is poop. He basically has an Edwin Diaz pitch mix with the hits per nine and everything to go with it, except he just doesn't throw hard enough. I'm gonna have to put Paul Sewald in the C tier. I just don't think he's that good of a card. Here's an interesting one. We have Martin Perez, and you guys are probably telling me in the comments, you're like, hey, no, there's only one card left in the American League and you only have one in the S tier. Like, what's going on? But S tier means the best of the best. You know, it's very limited. I don't like putting a lot of cards in there. And this Martin Perez is interesting. He has everything you're looking for. 111 stamina. 82 hits per nine is a little bit low. The pitching clutch is at 90. That's definitely passable. Sinker, cutter, changeup, fastball, curveball. So the pitch mix is there. He has a sinker cutter and he has a changeup. I wish he had a slider instead of a curveball. This is definitely a very viable team captain option. If you're looking for someone quick and easy, I definitely think he's better than guys like Sale and Ohtani and Bieber with that pitch mix. So I'm gonna put him in the A tier to be our first A tier pitcher in this tier list. So now we're hopping into the National League where we got some damn good cards. So we have Austin Riley for the Braves, and I mean, good God, look at those stats. The clutch is a little bit low, but 87 is definitely good enough. He has the power. He has an unbelievable swing, and I will take his hitting over his fielding. So it's definitely passable with 71 and 69 arm. The hitting stats are amazing. His swing is always so damn good in this game. You guys guessed it. He's going in the S tier. He has everything you're looking for in a third baseman. Again, he's just as good as Miggy, but he even has better fielding. So I'd probably even put him ahead of Miggy in our tier list here. And now we have Sandy. 111 stamina, 94 hits per nine, 85 pitching clutch, 5 pitch mix 2. He has everything you're looking for. Circle change, sinker, four seamer, slider. And the best part about it, he has outlier. This is going to be our very first S tier pitcher on this list. We're hopping over to the Mets, and we got Pete Alonso. I mean, he's got good contact. Contact's a little bit low against lefties, but you're fine with that, especially since he's right-handed. Very good power, decent clutch. Not the greatest fielding, but I wouldn't say this card is S tier. He does have some really, really good damn quirks. Bad ball hitter, situational hitter. I would take Miggy over him though, just because of the contact and the clutch in my opinion. So I'm going to put this card in the A tier. He's like right on the border for me. He's like right here for me, like in between two of them. He could either be S tier or A tier. I've always preferred Miggy's swing. And then for the Phillies, we have Real Muto. I mean, everything about this card is just, you know, it's balanced. Like nothing about it stands out other than like maybe his defensive stats. I mean, 85 fielding, the 99 arm is nice, but I mean, who really steals that much, to be honest with you? He's good against righties, kind of underwhelming with the 64 contact or 64 power against lefties, 79 clutch, good speed. I think it's fair to say that to put him in the B tier would be okay. Like he's not up here in the levels with guys like Altuve and Buxton and Judge and Pete. And here we have Josiah Gray. I mean, he has the 5 pitch mix, 102 stamina, 86 hits per nine, good pitching clutch. He just doesn't have the pitch mix. Fastball, slider, knuckle curve, 2-seam changeup. I hate to do it to you Nationals fans, but I'm gonna have to put Josiah Gray down here in the C tier. I would definitely take guys like Sale, Manoah, and even Ohtani and Bieber, those guys. I would definitely, he's very similar to maybe like a McClanahan and stuff like that. So I'm going to put Josiah Gray down here in the C tier. Alrighty, we're hopping over to the NL Central now. And we have the Cubs team captain, Ian Happ. Now, if you guys don't know, this guy always plays above his stats. He's got a fantastic swing and plays pretty much everywhere. Plays the entire outfield, and he plays second and third base. Switch hitter. He's like the perfect height at 6 foot. And I know you might be looking at that power and being like, hey, no, like what the hell are you talking about? But I promise this guy is always so good every single year. 95 clutch. So even like against righties, the guy's on base, that PCI size is going to be the exact same as it is if no one's on base. Sometimes in MLB The Show, it comes down to the swing, and he has the swing. He has the stats. Ian Happ, welcome to the S tier. Next, we're moving on to Joey Votto. Now, Joey, I love you, buddy, but your card is not good. His clutch is decent at 95. I guess that's okay. I think I'm going to put Joey in the C tier. And now we have Corbin Burns. Do I need to say anything? If you have played MLB The Show in the last 2 to 3 years, you just know that any Corbin Burnes card is going to be one of the best pitchers in the game. He has everything you're looking for. He's just got a really tough motion to read. Corbin Burnes is S tier. Now we have McCutchen. Now, McCutch is always a fan favorite, always has a really good swing. He's not the greatest against righties, very good against lefties. 94 clutch is very good. Wouldn't put him in right field with those stats. I'd probably throw him over in left. I would put him in the A tier with guys like Judge, Buxton, Altuve. In the last card in the NL Central, we have Adam Wainwright. Now, 113 stamina, 85 hits per night, 100 pitching clutch. He's got sinker cutter, but the thing is, he just does not throw hard enough. It's topping out at 90. If he just threw a little bit harder, he would be S tier for me. I'm going to put Wainwright in the A tier because I don't think he is up there with guys like Sandy and Corbin because he doesn't throw hard enough. Now we're hopping into the NL West, and we are going to be starting off with Zach Gallen. Now Gallen is, in my opinion, probably the most underrated pitcher in the league. He had a very good season last year, and I'm expecting him to come out strong again. As you can see, 98 stamina, 98 hits per nine, 101 pitching clutch. So he's pretty balanced. Fastball, knuckle curve, cutter, circle change, slider. He's like a little bit better Shane Bieber in my opinion. So if he had a sinker, this card would probably be S tier for me. Doesn't really have any good quirks. So with that in mind, this one's tough for me. I put a lot of cards in the A tier. I don't know how, he's very similar to Bieber. Like when I'm doing these tier lists, like if I would say, oh, he's better than Bieber, I would put him in the A tier. But I just think they're like so equal to each other that I'm going to put him in the B tier as well. Next, we are moving into Daniel Bard. Now, 123 hits per nine, 125 pitching clutch, sinker, slider, four-seam, changeup. And to top it off, he has outlier. In my opinion, I think Daniel Bard is 100% S tier. Now we have Clayton Kershaw. Now, when he gets his 99 overalls, Kershaw is always one of the best pitchers in the game, but this is kind of similar to his live series where, you know, he has okay hits per nine. The pitching clutch is very good, but that pitch mix is just complete dog crap, man. Until Kershaw gets his good cards with sinkers and whatnot on it, he's just not going to do that well for you. Kershaw, I'm sorry, buddy. One of the best left-handed pitchers of all time. I'm going to put you in the C tier, buddy. I'm sorry. Now we're hopping with Manny Machado. Now, 97 contacts, 78 against lefties. Good power, very good clutch. Good fielding. Machado always has one of the best swings in the game. So when we look at this tier list, do I go, is Manny Machado better than Miggy? Is he better than Ian Happ? Is he better than Austin Riley? And I would say probably not. I would probably take Austin Riley when you're comparing everything, you know, with the swing and stats and everything far and in between. I probably put Machado in the A tier. And to round it all out, I think this might be one of the best cards in the program, Brandon Crawford. If Machado had stats like this, he would be in the S tier for me. But a lot of it in the show comes down to swing, and you got to have the stats to back it up. And Brandon Crawford does just that. And I'm going to put him in the S tier, and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate comments for this tier list, but that is what I am going with for the MLB 23 Team Captains tier list. That is going to be my tier list. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave down in the comments what you guys think as well, and I hope to see you all in the next video.